Alright, name. Hello. Right, name, official secrets. Did you see it? No, you didn't, did it? I did, though. One sentence summary. Keira Knightley tries to stop the Iraq War by leaking a dodgy GCHQ email to the press with dramatic consequences. Could you beat the villain? In many ways, you're just going to sit there. Are you just going to sit? Look at that. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Nice. Anyway, could you beat the villain? So, in many ways, the British establishment are trying to kind of ruin everyone's lives again with the whole Brexit thing, just like with the old Iraq War stuff. And they should have listened to me quite some time ago when I said I could solve it, either there or there, one of the two. Anyways, could I beat the British establishment? Yeah, could, easy peasy. So, Keira Knightley, uh, I can call her Kira because we sort of met or were in the same place at one time. Anyway, she prints off a copy of this email, gives it to an anti-war protester who gives it to a member of the press to try and get this secret out there or get them to investigate it. If it were me, I would print off 500 copies of this email because that's how many sheets of paper there are in the packs of paper at work. And then I'd go to an anti-war riot protest thing and start handing them out to randoms. That way the information gets out there. You'll weaponize the hippies and no one really knows who you are if you wear a disguise or just don't tell them. By then. And also, when they're doing an investigation at GCHQ, she just admits to it when the pressure comes on. I wouldn't. You stay silent. You become a folklore hero. It all blows over. How's about that for a slice of fried gold? There you go. Right, so how do you improve this film? There was lots of good acting in it, especially Rhys Ifans, I think that's how you pronounce his name, who's a Welshman pretending to be an Englishman who, well, acting as an Englishman, let's say, and then pretending as that Englishman to be an American man. So yeah, good. Having said that, Matt Smith, I always thought that the way he kind of acts and stands with his bad posture and his dramatic pauses and so on and so forth, I always thought that was an acting choice when he was being Doctor Who, but he was doing exactly the same in this film. So a couple of little screenwriting shortcuts for you. So if the start of your film is boring, why not start at the finale and then flash back to the beginning of the story? That way it seems like something cool's happening. And if you need to tell your audience that two characters are in love, why not have their introduction of them banging? Because that's a handy shortcut. And then for good measure, later in the film, when they try and do it again, maybe they'll get interrupted by a phone call with some important information. What are you looking at? You dog. And if you can't think of a way to introduce a character properly, why not just put their name on the screen? That's easy. Don't do it for everyone though. That'd be too consistent. There's a bit where Doctor Who meets a contact in a car park, and he's all like, "Oh, this is a bit deep throat, isn't it?" No reference to the stuff. And just because you lampshade it and tell people it's a bit over the top doesn't mean it's not over the top. So there you go. And how many times in a film have you seen the main character walk into a jail cell, then the door closes behind him whilst the camera's still in the corridor? That's cliche. Stop doing it. Anyway, why was Kira, as I said, I can call her that, using a floppy disk at GCHQ in 2003? I was alive in 2003. I know CDs were a thing. Why did everyone at the newspaper office clap when Doctor Who's article was published? Because surely they knew what was going to be on the front page of the paper that they work at. That was odd. And surely there's like a content editor or whatever that they send it to before it gets, printed, not just the receptionist lady. Why is GCHQ so dark? I assume it's supposed to be atmospheric in there, but that's going to be bad for the physical and mental health of the people who work there. I'm John from Internal Security. John who? Like, give me your second name or show me some ID, bro. I'm not going to talk to you if I don't know who you are. But his interrogation technique basically boiled down to, did you do it? No, they didn't do it. Okay, well, then, did you do it? And that's Chief Wiggum does that. I couldn't find any screenshots of it though. It's very disappointing. But he did have those interrogations held in a room with the door open, which was very strange. Andy at GCHQ, his one characteristic was he likes to eat. That's all you need to know about him. I thought it was very weird that they didn't mention at all, as far as I'm aware, David Kelly, the weapons expert who disagreed with the government's views on the WMDs in Iraq and then committed suicide by downing a load of pills and slashing his own wrist. And that was in 2003, exactly when this film is set, and it's on the same subject that the film's about. So it was odd that they didn't even give a nod to it, but there you go. Everyone in this film seemed to know an awful lot about the Official Secrets Act, especially when they were doing something that would get them in trouble, because they were like, oh man, I can't do that, that's against the Official Secrets Act. Weird that they all had a working knowledge of it in their head. End of the film, the prosecution call off the trial because they can't release the information that they defence have requested without outing themselves as war criminals. But they say, oh, we don't want to waste the taxpayers' money by, going through this trial if we don't think we can win it. And then Ralph Fiennes, talking to his former friend, he's like, oh man, why did you drag it out so long? And he's like, well, we had to make an example of her. So that's fair enough. Both of those valid arguments, the public one and the private one. But why didn't they just call the trial off like the day before if they were going to do that, instead of waiting until everyone has turned up to the court, they're wearing their wigs and their lawyery clothes, and then actually, sorry judge, we messed up. Doesn't make any sense. Anyway. I swear I've seen the apartment that Reese Ifans was living in New York or wherever. I swear I've seen that, or it was probably Washington. Anyway, I swear I've seen that before in something, but I can't remember what it was, so that bugged me. But I thought it was weird when he was on the phone to the NSA and the receptionist is like, yeah, can I take your name? And he's doing his American accent. He's like, no, I can't tell you my name. I'm pretty sure that would have been the end of the conversation. So, well, you're not going to tell me your name. I'm not going to put you through, right? There you go. Kira gets arrested by John, and he takes her to the police station, and the police take her bag and her necklace and her rings and stuff, and then she's in the little interview room talking to her husband after he's found out she got arrested, and the policeman's all like, hey, no touching, and then the husband gives her a coat which the policeman's all right with, but what if, I assume they checked it after the scene was done, but what if there was a tiny rock hammer and a poster of a buff lad that she was going to put on the wall and escape her way out through? Oh, that was weird. We should arrange a meeting for next week. Okay, bye. Do you not going to arrange the meeting on the phone now or nothing like that? That was weird. So rating out of 5 beers free. It was alright. It was a fine film. I was a bit upset that the seat that I had originally booked it'd been usurped. Someone was sitting in it. That was upsetting. And I eyeballed them, but they didn't seem to care. Obviously, they didn't know who I was because I was sitting in a different seat. That's besides the point. It's not the film's fault. So yeah, 3 beers out of 5. Good acting, like I said. Felt a little bit like it was stitched together from other films, though. That's a downside. And also, they dressed up Keira Knightley in the same outfit as the real lady, because at the end of the film, as per many, many films, they showed a clip that are based on true stories. They showed a clip of the real woman. So they dressed her up in the outfit, but they didn't bother dyeing her hair so it was blonde like the real ladies. That was confusing. Yeah, anyway. Bye.